Hey, what's up, everybody? So, XRP, we are breaking down. We were talking about this coming down in three ways. We didn't know, for example, if this was going to come up first and be a three-wave move like that, but you can see that was all she wrote, and now we're continuing down. So, what do we have? It looks like to me, we have, three waves up and we have three waves down. So, if we can find some support down in here, then we could go up in 5 waves. So it'd be 335, and then we can get into our retrace level. If not, then this is going to be another wave down. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we would find support somewhere down at that $2 level, like we were talking last video. We're looking for $2. And let's see if I put this, right about there. I would say right around there would be a good level. $2, $2.10, around there. So either this is going to come down and finish, or this is going to be a bigger wave up. So 335, and then maybe come down and finish, which would kind of suck, right? So probably better if we just come and finish now. But to me, it's got to be more bullish right now because we're at support, right? You got support, support, support. You got a three-wave move down, and you're on support. So we should potentially get a little bit of a bounce here. And now if we can get a bounce, we want to see how that bounce looks. If it's going to be like, if it's flagging out like this, you're going to see a drop. So doesn't mean it's going to bounce right now, but I think it's gearing up. Let's look at the smaller time frames. Yeah, it looks like 5 waves to me. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you got 5 waves there. And you don't have any divergence yet. Maybe let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, you do. On the 1 hour, you got divergence right there. A little bit of bullish divergence. So, yeah, like I said, man, Sundays and Mondays are the most bearish days of the week. The reason why Mondays are bearish is because you have the first trading day of the week after the close. So if we look at the weekly candle, you could see the week just started, literally just started, and you already have that monster candle. So that's a good thing. You want it to come down fast, because if, for example, we trade all the way back up here, then we could have a big wick, right, by the time the candle closes. So you have a back test here, or a retest, I should say. You have, basically, this is the zone where you really need to stay above, right around there. Now, we were just talking about $2, so I would say right there is the zone you want to stay. So if we pierce through here, we want to build a base in here, and we want to see it come back and retest this trend line. So let's put trend line right there, right? Because it just doesn't look finished. The way this is bottlenecked, it dropped, and then it came up, and then it retested it, and now it's coming down further. So if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, you potentially might need 5. Maybe come down here and sweep these lows one more time to get that real expanded flat look. A, B, C, go, right? So we're still sort of in this range here, but it looks like it could potentially break down. So there's the top of the range, and then here is the bottom of the range. Well, you could say that the bottom of the range is there because there's more touches there, but I would give it a zone rather. So let's see if we hold this zone. I would like to see us get a little bit of a reaction off of it, right? I still don't think the low is quite in yet. I think we'll have more downside, but let's see how it progresses. Now you can even say that this is 3 up, right? You have an impulse down and you have 3 waves up. So now this is a 1 and this is a 2, and now we're going 3, 4, 5, and that could be impulsing down. But remember, this is all short, small time frames. We're still very bullish on the larger time frames, right? When you look at the larger time frames, this is a monster XRP range, the biggest base in crypto history, right? I mean, you're looking at 8 years here. So this is just building structure, right? Now we're up here. We have this flat. I mean, it could be at any moment. This thing could be getting ready to go. So, but I don't think this wave right here is finished. Once this wave finishes, then that's when we want to see the next leg up. If we don't get the next leg up, then that tells me that we're in for a bigger mid-cycle correction or even a continuation of the bear market, because we're not in a bull market. XRP's been in a bear market since 2018. So since back over here, bear market, 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 right? So it's, I mean, we're overdue, guys. We're overdue for a bull run for something like XRP, especially with crypto legislation coming, more legislation. We're getting the ETF. We have ammunition. It's Q4, which is typically good, but we do have a lot of bearishness on the charts, like the crossover. The Bitcoin. It's 5 waves, so it makes it very challenging to figure out how it's going to play out. So, in my opinion, there's a couple different ways it could play out. So the first way is we finish this wave, right? And then we gear up and then get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. That's all you need. That's literally all you need is one more extension. And then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you can even say 3 up, 3 down, and then 5 up, right? 3, 3, 5. Or you could even say 1, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Whatever. Either way. So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2 is if this keeps rolling down and we find some support down in here, and then we go and hit that extension. So that's the difference. If it's worse than that, then I would say we have 3 waves down. We would get 3 waves. Let's do that again. We get 3 waves down, and then we would get 3 waves up, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Back test the low here. Sub dollar. Build a base. Hold that strong level of support in here. And then go for it. So those are the 3 options. Either we do it now, we do it a little bit later, or we do it a lot later. So no matter what, it's going to happen, and then it's all about positioning yourself. You got to have the conviction, you got to have the belief, right? Trump was on 60 Minutes yesterday, and they were talking about crypto. And he said, or she talked about AI, and he's like, we're leading in AI. And then he's like, well, we're leading in crypto too. So crypto, they're not even close, or something like that. So when I think to myself, well, who's crypto? Well, you have Circle and you have Ripple. Who else do you got? Coinbase, right? But that's an exchange. Obviously the AI, OpenAI, but who's the biggest America first, right? That's what Trump's policy is, America first. Okay, so who's the number one American blockchain? Isn't it Ripple? I mean, come on. Why can't we talk about it? Why can't reporters ask Trump about Ripple? I mean, I don't get it. They ask him about Nvidia, they ask him about all these other companies. They don't ever ask him about Ripple. Ever. No reporter will. They won't even touch it. Like, it's ridiculous. These reporters are unbelievably retarded. Like, they can't. They're either being told what to say, or they just ask stupid questions that make no sense. Like, dude, why wouldn't you ask them about, why can't some reporter ask Trump, well, how come we can't take the Fed and transition it into the Treasury, and then we can take the Federal Reserve note and convert it into a Treasury note, and then back it by gold, and then have the utility token be on the blockchain? Like, why can't we ask him that? Why can't we say, hey, why can't we get rid of the financial system and get a whole new system? Or why can't someone ask Trump, hey, do you think crypto and gold, if crypto and gold team up together, Mr. President, do you think those two things can replace the Fed someday? Why would you not ask him that? Like, I wish I was a reporter. I wish I could talk to him and ask him, like, because none of these idiots will. Even the good guys, even the crypto guys don't even ask him. Like, I don't understand. Like, if I ever had a split second to ask Don Jr. or Eric Trump is the I think is the bigger guy in terms of crypto. So if there's anyone I would like to talk to, it would be Eric, and I'd say, dude, why doesn't your dad just sign the Federal Reserve and in the Federal Reserve Act, and then pay the debt off with a revalued Bitcoin, and then take all of the debt, right, and use it, pay it off with Bitcoin, and then transition the system into a gold-backed system, and then use the United States dollar, not the Federal Reserve debt note. You take the Federal Reserve debt note away from the Federal Reserve, and you transition it into a real United States Treasury dollar backed by gold that is also digital on the blockchain. Like, why is that so hard to ask? Like, that is the biggest question in the world. That one thing alone will change humanity forever. What is the number one problem? What is the number one reason people vote for a president or for anybody? Why? Because they want change. What type of change? What is the number one thing people want to change? Money. It's all about money, bro. It's all about money all of the time, right? Like, people go, oh, it's the border, it's health care. Well, guess what? Those two things have to do with money, right? Border crossings, they drain our resources. That's draining money, right? So, again, the way Democrats and Republicans can hold hands together is by doing what they have in common. Well, what does a liberal and a conservative have in common? Money. Okay, so, like, I don't get it. Like, isn't that a mutual thing? So why can't we fix that? Why can't we ask the president, hey, why can't we change the system? Or even ask him, for example, hey, Ripple is the number one. I would say, Mr. President, you believe in America first, right? Okay, so do you believe crypto should be in America and it should be America first? Yes, I do. Okay, perfect. So let me ask you this. Who's the number, if it's America first in crypto, then let me ask you this. Who's the number one American blockchain in America? I would force him to say Ripple. He would, because I've never even heard him say the word Ripple. I've never heard him. I know he tweeted XRP, but I've never heard him say it himself. And I would say, what do you think is more important, Mr. President? Bitcoin, that is not associated with America at all, or Ripple, right? Or XRP, which is extremely associated with the United States. So Trump's main job is to build the U.S. economy. The way you do that is by building up U.S. companies. Okay, so let's talk about crypto companies for a little bit. How do we build up crypto companies? What do we need? We need regulation. Well, why is your SEC commissioner haven't signed off on the ETFs yet? Oh, because we have the government shutdown. Well, let's get this going, man. Call them up and say, hey, dude, let's do it. So, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Like everybody wants to know these questions, but nobody will ask the freaking questions. Everyone wants to know these answers, but nobody will ask the questions. It's completely crazy. Like, why would no reporter ask Trump about XRP, XRP ETF, transition, gold? Nobody's ever talked to him about silver. Hey, Mr. President, silver just hit $50 plus a new all-time high for silver. Silver has the largest cup and handle in human history, Mr. President. Why would nobody ask you that? Why wouldn't you say, hey, what do you think about that? Don't you think that's a problem? Silver hitting $50? Isn't that silver going up and up and up? What does that mean? That is a reflection of a dying system. So he says, oh, there's no inflation. But we do have inflation. We have inflation. He's right. Inflation is back down to 2%. But what about all the inflation we had? It just doesn't disappear, right? So if I blew a bubble and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, that's inflation, right? The bubble's inflating. Okay, so now Trump is president. Well, guess what? Now inflation is fixed, but we're not here. We're still on the outside, right? And it's only getting, instead of, let's say you have a little bubble and it's 4%, 8%, 10%, and it's getting bigger and bigger versus 2%, right? So, I don't know. It's just kind of funny, like, I wish somebody would ask him that. Like, why can't, for example, Trump and Brad Garlinghouse, they talked. They had meetings together. What did they talk about? Or why don't you ask him this? Hey, Mr. President, why can't you use Ripple's technology to replace the Federal Reserve? Like, Mr. President, you're a big critic of the Federal Reserve, right? Yes, I am. Okay, why can't we change the Federal Reserve, Mr. President? Like, why would no one ask him, hey, why can't we change it? Why can't we reconstruct it? Why can't we take crypto and why do we even need the Fed? Why can't we just take blockchain, gold, and our treasury and create our own system? Why do we need the Fed? Like, why doesn't nobody ask him? It's retarded as hell. So, yeah. It's just frustrating when these stupid reporters ask him a million questions that have nothing to do with anything. Oh, what are you going to do about the Gaza or the hostages? Honestly, it's sad, the hostages are back. Yay, great. But what about my family? What about your family? What do you guys care about? You care about what? You care about financially being secure, right? Okay, how do you do that? You got to make sure your investments are secure. How do you do that? Right? You got to have a president an administration that has their agenda, their policies align with your investments. So if you see everyone's freaking out. Oh, crypto's bearish because we're going down. Like, let's just pull up, like AVAX here, So Trump got elected right there, and it barely did anything, and now it's continuing down. So I would show the chart to Trump. I'd say, hey, I thought you're America first. I thought you're crypto first. What's going on? Why are we going down, dude? Why is we going down? He'll point to Bitcoin, right? I would ask him, well, why is Bitcoin going up and everything else is going down? Are altcoins any good? Like, these are things you would ask the President of the United States to see where he's at. Specifically, I would more so ask Eric, because I think Eric knows, because Eric is he knows a lot about crypto, and I think he's an advisor to his dad in terms of that. So I don't know. It's just kind of funny why they don't ask, like, hey, Mr. President, what do you think about Ethereum? What do you think about XRP? What do you think about THETA? What do you think about, Cardano? Like how will Cardano fix or what solutions can Cardano bring us to the economy? Because, Mr. President, all you want to do is build the economy, right? Okay, so the best way to build the economy is to have vehicles that can do that. And Cardano can help do that. Ripple can help do that, right? So why can't we do that? What are we waiting for? So it's just frustrating. Anyways, I digress. Let's see here. So that's pretty much it when it comes to XRP. Just one other thing real quick. So basically, yeah, where I left off of is no matter what, we should get up here around that, $8 to $12 level at some point. So again, does that mean it's going to happen now? Does that mean it's going to happen later? Does that mean it's going to happen way later? Well, whatever, it's going to happen. So, so what do we do about it? Well, not financial advice. Nothing I say is financial advice. I could be totally wrong. Maybe it won't. Maybe we'll go to zero. I really doubt it. I don't think so. But, so what I would do is I would just continue to be at my job, get my paycheck every 2 weeks, continue to accumulate, just as much as you can, as much as you're allowed, you're able to. And then without, don't worry, oh, it's going to go lower. No, because eventually, whenever this is done, right, we don't know if it's going to be 3 down, 3 up, 5 down. We don't know if this range is going to break down and finish, right? And a lot of it has to do with Bitcoin. A lot of it is watching and waiting. So we might just build a base here. You could see we have red, green, red. So if we can maintain this little box here and then print a green candle next week, then that could be enough for this to be, to get us out of here. But if not, we might have to test 50% of that wick. So what is the strategy? I mean, there's really just one. It's just accumulate, right, as much as you possibly can. Because knowing eventually, even if you're accumulating in here, even if it comes down here, you're still accumulating. Why? Because at some point we will go there. So it's really, that's the main thing. So other than that, let's look at the small time frames here. It looks like, let me try to get rid of that. Yeah, we already did all that. Yeah, so we got 5 waves. We're kind of down here at support. Do we have a sequential here? Almost. We almost hit a 9 on the 30-minute. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like. We're on a 7. So, yeah, let's see how it plays out. But let's look at Bitcoin now. Well, real quick, Monero, look at Monero. See, what's going on here? Like, look at this one. It's crashing. Look at XRP. It's dumping. Look at this one. It's dumping. Look at this one. It's dumping. Look at this one. It's dumping. Okay, let's go back to Ethereum. It's dumping. Let's go to Bitcoin. You can see it's dumping. Okay, now let's go to XRP. Same thing. Look, it's dumping. Okay, now what about Monero? Oh, that's not Monero. Monero is not dumping. Interesting. Look at Monero is not dumping. It's had a little bit of a pullback, but so what? So I think Monero looks great and very interesting. So let's see if we can finally break out of this thing here. I am seriously considering swapping some XRP for Monero simply because Monero looks to be in a little bit of a position of strength versus XRP. You can see it's in a position of weakness. So I'm seriously considering swapping it very soon. You got a little bit of a problem though. You got a little bit of a wedge in here. But I don't really like it as a wedge. I really like it as an ascending triangle, honestly. Look at that. That looks prime, baby. That looks prime. So, you know, I think Monero's looking pretty good, honestly. I think, you know, you're kind of like point A, point B. You're right in the middle here. So it could go either way, but I think we got some more gas in the tank for this thing to keep going. Let's see here. What I don't like, though, is you got 5 waves up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. So could this be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or is it going to be 3 down? Is it going to be 3 up? And then we're going to have to come back down and then go up, right? To give that bigger 3. So 3, 3, 5, right? I don't know. Let's see. Other than that... you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm worried that this could be A, B, and then C. This could be a flat right in here. So that's what I'm a little bit concerned with. You know, to retest this part of the range here and then break out. You got a shoulder, you got a head, you got a shoulder. That measured move would be approximately 500 bucks, right around there. That's pretty good. So in the grand scheme, you know, it's not too bad. I mean, that basically puts you at almost the all-time high, essentially. Right? Just that measured move. If this is little inverse head and shoulders right here, and you take the measured move of that, that's approximately right where you would go. So, anyways, did you guys watch the Dodger game? That was a freaking close game, man. That was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Wow. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And again, Monero, look at Monero. Monero is extremely bullish. I mean, you got this beautiful cup, this handle, you got this large accumulation structure, right? So you have resistance here, right? You're cupping into the resistance. You're cupping into the resistance, right? Versus cupping down to support, cupping down into support, right? So this is building, this is also ascending as well. So, and you can see all of that accumulation down here at the low, right? So we're you know, I think this is going to break out. So, yeah, let's look at, if you just look at like something like near, like look, this is like not a good thing, because not really. I mean, we had an impulse, we had a 3-way pullback, we were building a base, so it could still be a base. This could still be Wyckoff in here, right? This could still be maybe a spring. You come back up here and then continue, but it's getting close. You know, I would say this could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 3, 5. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, A, B, C, 2. So this could be the bottom of the wave 2. You can see a little bit of a trend line here. I hate this right there. So we could come down and retest it a little bit. So I want to see it hold this trend line. If we can hold it, that would be a really good buying opportunity. If we can bounce off that trend line, most definitely, right? Because it could be maybe a triangle, it could be a triangle here. So you got a wave 1, and then A, B, C, and then we would go up in D. Whoops, that's not a D. D, and then we would come down in E. And then we would blast off. So very, very likely, very possible. Very possible. Still with, Theta Fuel. I'm not looking at Theta anymore. I'm just going to be looking at Theta Fuel for a while. I mean, I'll still look at Theta. I mean, it's the same chart. It's the same chart. But I like Theta Fuel better now because of the way the chart looks compared to Theta. It's got a more clear 5 waves. So I want to see this finish. Once it finishes, then we should see a retrace. A pretty good size retrace. Especially since, we're oversold here. I mean, look at this. We haven't been this... Theta Fuel is more oversold than ever before in history, okay? So this is that's... Look at the weekly RSI. Theta Fuel has never, ever, ever, ever been this oversold. Ever. So these are buys of a lifetime. This is why I don't believe we're just barely entering a bear market. This is more signs of the end of the bear market, not the beginning, right? Because we've been in a bear market this whole time. So you could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a little bit of a diagonal shape, right? You're at all-time lows. So eventually this thing should come up here and you have 1, 2, and then 3. You should get this divergence to form here. So that's how I think about it. So let's do Bitcoin and Ethereum now. So Bitcoin's looking a little bit sketchy here. It's just like hanging off a cliff, honestly. Hanging off a cliff. I mean, you're right here on this trend line, and that's a very... Let's go down to the 3-day here. There we go. That's as good as you're going to get it, and you're literally right on that trend line. So, it favors the bulls because you're on support, right? You also have support here at 102 and support here at 106. So I mean, you're really at that crossroads right there. So we really would like, I would really like to see it hold, but if it doesn't hold, this could still be a flat, right? It could still be, this still could come down a little bit further and then maybe come up and get rejected and then come down even further. This could be 3, 3, and 3. A flat. It could be a running flat, and that could build your base, and then you break out for another wave up. So all of that would be part of a mid-cycle correction. So the reason I'm not too, if we were going up like this, it'd be a lot more concerning. But since we've been building structures, you're building a base in here, building a base, building a base, building a base, building a base, building a base. You can say that this is all one base in here. So you're building these sideways structures. Sideways structures offer support. think about a skyscraper. You lay the foundation down, and that foundation has got to be strong. So you build a foundation, you break above, you build the foundation, you break above. What that does is it allows the price to sustain itself, right? So if we start coming down, you know, that's okay, right? Because obviously you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 waves here. So if we did come down in ABC, like so, you know, back to this little zone back in here, before the next bigger leg up to 300K, it's very possible we could go down to like 50K. So that's kind of where we're at. But so how does that make sense for XRP, right? Didn't we just say that XRP should go up and hit that? Well, it'd be very easy because it only needs one extension. So if this, for example, breaks down and then we go up in a retrace, it could literally happen during that retrace. Like it happened last time. That's exactly how it happened last time, right? When we look at XRP here. See? You could see Bitcoin comes up, it tops. I'll bring it down a little bit. Bitcoin goes up, it tops, it pulls back, and then it retraces. During the pullback, well, during the retrace, that's when you really got that extension. So if we saw something very similar, where we came down and then we retraced, that retrace could lead to a big power move for XRP. So small time frames, I don't think there's really anything going on here. Yeah, it's, you got, so there's two things. One, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and then you have 3 up, 3 down, and then maybe you get 3 down again, or 3 up, or it could be 5. So 3, 3, 5, and then that would be wave 2, and then that's what you would see in a move down. So I think this is going to be a trap. I don't know if it's just going to break down. So here's two ideas for you. Let me get rid of that. Here's 2 ideas. Idea number 1, this is a 3-way pullback. It's finished, and now we're just kind of consolidating, and we should come up and hit the high. Or this is 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 back down, like that. And then we go up and we retrace or maybe break the high. The alternative to that, if it's a reversal and this is a wave 1 and that's 3, 3, and then maybe 5, that would be wave 2, and then we pump down for 3. Right? Or, yeah, I said 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 back down. But 3 back down could still be, it could still come up here first, hit the high. Right? So 3 down, 3 up, and then 3, let me do that again. 3, whoops. Yeah, 3, 3, and then 5. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 back down, and then go up. So 3, 3, 3. So either that 3 comes down or that 3 comes up and then it comes down and finishes. So that's kind of what's going on here. Because you have 3 waves up, you have 3 waves down. You're right on support. So you could get 5 very quickly. It could be a fast wave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the retrace level. Once we get in those retrace levels, that's going to be the most dangerous place in crypto. Because that could literally end in a disaster. Or it could end in, or it could just keep consolidating, right? Ethereum. Yeah, see, Ethereum just kind of looks just not, it's not that pretty of a chart, right? Or this time frame, right? I mean, you got 3 up, you got 3 down. It's really, so the big thing is you got, there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you have 1, 2. That's why this could be it could be a trap. We're coming down, 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 down. And what does people think? We're going to keep going down. But then what's going to happen? Maybe you come up in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what you get is you get 3 waves down, and then you get 3 waves up. Right? And then you would get 3 waves back down and then go up. So that's kind of what I would think here. Right? That would be the more complex way to look at it. The alternative is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we should go up and get 5. If we don't get 5, then it could be A, B, C, and then we go get 5. If we don't do that, then it would be something like that. And then we go get 5. So either way, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to break out. We're going to 7,000 or higher. It's going to happen. We just don't know how this wave is going to end and what precedes that wave. XLM is down 9%. I was a half a second away of going short yesterday, and I didn't do it. I can't believe I didn't. AXS. This one was really bad. All right. THETA, where's it at? THETA, here it is. 15%? Whoa. THETA's down 15%. Yeah, like I said, man, I've been saying it for a long time. We probably got to test 50% of that wick. That's what I keep saying, you know. And until that happens, I'm just kind of waiting. So there's really nothing to say. I mean, you got 1, 2, you know, but that's part of another wave. You know, you really got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 3 down, you have 3 up, and then you have 5 down. So if this is a wave, if this whole thing is a wave 1, and that's an A, B, C wave 2, this could be a freaking goodbye. But it's just so hard to know because of where everything else is at right here. And that's why I'm not completely convinced yet. I mean, you kind of have 5 waves in here. It kind of, you know, it's not easy. It's challenging. So, but it is easy if you just accumulate spot position. If you're trading, that's hard. If you're considering buying, that's easy. All you got to do is go to Coinbase, buy. That's all you got to do. And then just hold it. You only lose if you sell it, right? If you buy $50 worth and then tomorrow you wake up and it's, you know, $38 worth, well, guess what? You still have the same amount of coins you did. If you bought 100 coins, you still have 100 coins. The value is less, but you don't care about today's value. You care about the future value. So anyway, I will catch you guys on the next one. Remember, not financial advice. And yeah, that will do it. So cheers.